All right, we got someone who is going to express themselves today. We're very happy to have you on the Kansai Collective.
Who are you?
Thank you for having me. My name is Stefano Carlo, but here I go by Stef.
Stef. Well, thank you for joining us, Stef. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming in today, letting us bug you, interview you.
The pleasure is all mine.
What are we talking about today, Zane?
Yeah, man. Today, Stef is going to share his personal experience in Japan. But he has a special experience that Asa and I have not had in Japan.
Yet.
But
So what are we talking about, man? What are we?
I mean, what month is it now?
it is June.
Right over his head. Right over his head.
So, Pride Month.
Pride Month. Yes. So Steph is going to be giving us some of his experiences. We're going to be bugging him, learning all about the LGBT community here in Japan, here in Osaka.
First, I'm curious, Steph. What does Pride Month resonate? How does it resonate with you?
So me personally, it's a little bit complicated because I'm from Italy, so there's not much of a gay scene where I was raised, because I was raised in a very small town, and so like all of my first gay social experiences, like going to a gay club or going to a parade, they all happened in Japan. So, like, to me, it's like it's synonymous with Japan, of course. And I don't know. It's I guess it's a time of the year where like we can have like conversations about things that like might be more spiky, or maybe you don't think about all year long, but now you have like this long time to, I guess, learn more about it if you're willing to, and to celebrate each other, and to celebrate like the freedom that we have now, and also like a moment to be thankful for all the people that before us did so much work and so much activism to get us where we are now.
Okay.
I'm curious. When you were in Italy, did you celebrate Pride Month?
No, personally, no. I didn't celebrate Pride Month. I'm not even sure like when it started to be like a global celebration. Probably not gonna happen. But no, I didn't celebrate Pride Month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your experiences of going to a gay bar and having these social gay experiences all in Japan, how was it? Because for me, when I walk through the streets, right, you'll see couples holding hands, but I've never seen two men holding hands.
In Osaka?
Yeah,
Never?
never.
I've seen people that I feel like that are out in the community. But what do you do? So I guess the better question, Steph, is in terms of like the visibility of the community here in Japan, here in Osaka. Is it visible? Is it, kind of less talked about, or what's your experience with that?
All right. So I feel like, so I've been in Japan for like a total of 3 years now, and my first year was in Yokohama actually, and so like I had my first experiences in Tokyo, and especially like I don't know if you guys know, but like in Shibuya, for example, is like the only, so as far as I know for now, is the only place where like they recognize say like not same-sex marriage, but more like you can get like a family status, like you can be recognized as a family with another person, with a partner that is like your same sex. So like Shibuya, like you might see people holding hands in Shibuya, like same sex couples and stuff.
What about Osaka?
Osaka, I haven't seen that much.
Okay.
I haven't seen that much, me personally.
Not that much. Because it's interesting, because like from what people have told me, or I guess what the internet sphere is Osaka is one of the more openly gay cities in Japan. For a country that's rather conservative, Osaka is more out there.
Yeah, if you I mean, of course it's a city, so like it's gonna be like you're gonna have like more people. There's a gay street, there are like gay clubs, and there are even like community spaces which like like you can get tested there. You can have like you can even like just go there and hang out with other like Japanese gay people, and have like a more, I don't know, kind of sort of like guidance
and get all the resources you need.
Exactly.
When you first came here, did you feel alone as far as, because like you didn't have the you said like you here you can go to clinics, or you can go to like places where you can meet other people of the same right? And did you feel lonely when you first came out here? Like
sorry, I'm gonna answer this. I just wanted to like mention that place that I mentioned earlier, where like you can get like resources and get some guidance. It's called like Dista. It's Dista gay community something. I don't remember.
We'll put a
But
link in this video.
it's called Dista, and if you ever need it, it's probably like a good place for you to remember. It's in Doyama, like the gay street in Osaka.
I didn't even know there was a gay street in Osaka.
Yeah.
Tell us about Doyama.
Yeah, we'll let's put a pin on that. And so, like, to answer your question, of course, I felt lonely in Japan. I mean, I feel like everybody feels lonely. Me personally, I felt like there's a very special kind of loneliness that you feel when you start also using like dating apps. Because like that's something that like I don't think like a lot of people know, a lot of like straight people know how much dating apps are a thing in the gay community. It's like of course there's exception, and but a lot of us, like I would say like the majority of us, only meet through dating apps, because it's kind of like a safe environment, like to interact with each other. The problem is that I don't know, like there's a lot of research about dating apps in general, but like they can do something to your brain, like you can get like really I don't know, like obsessed with how people perceive you, especially physically, because like I would say that like like interacting through this kind of platforms, it's very like based on how you look, on the kind of things that you choose to show, and that can easily get into your head if you're like slightly insecure, and especially if you're like just moved to a new country and you're like kind of like starving for connection and starving to find someone. And so like yeah, like the beginning was rough, and it's been rough for a while, to be honest, when it comes to like dating apps. It's something that I've been trying to distance myself from. And but yeah, like there was definitely like some loneliness.
Well, I know you said that. I mean, because the community is almost dependent on the apps as kind of like a free space to express yourself. Do you think, like, now that you've been here and you have some time under your belt, are there other ways to make connections with people in the community? Like, I know you said there's like this Dista place to meet, and there's gay bars, but so does it either happen at the bar or online, or is there anything other than that?
Yeah, I would say there can be like moments of serendipity, or like like just by chance you meet someone who's also gay, and like you happen to find. That actually happened to me with my first boyfriend back in Italy, my first ex-boyfriend. But and like we just found each other, right? But yeah, like of course if you go to like community events and like you attend to this kind of like meetings and stuff, it's easier to connect. It's something that I really recommend. I didn't do it for like most of my time in Japan, and I'm starting to do it now. But I would say if you want to connect to us, basically, I can say us, just try using Meetup. It's a very good resource even for like
Meetup.com?
Yeah, like Meetup.com, just to like make like to connect with other foreigners and Japanese people as well. Like
so that's I wanted to jump into that is because I feel like people they see this video and they think, oh, this is a foreigner talking about the community in Japan, but like are obviously we're in Japan.
Uh-huh.
You know, how active is the Japanese side of the community?
So the Japanese side there's a little bit of, I don't want to say gatekeeping because it's not like people are keeping anyone out of it, but it's a little bit harder to find how this kind of like Japanese only events happen. They usually connect through Twitter, and it's something that I don't really know how to use. So like, so if you can use Twitter, like you're probably like better at that than I am. And there's also like a lot of like this is not my experience, and this is all things that I've heard, and I don't say that it's because I'm ashamed, because I'm ashamed of nothing, but just because like to clarify that this is not things that I've experienced. But I heard that there's like a lot of, like place where you can meet for like just like to have like casual encounters with people in ways that is like more or less public depending on the event, depending on who's organizing. This is not something that I'm personally looking forward to. It's not my vibe, but it can be like a way to connect. Like there's no judgment in this. It's just like a way. But yeah, I would say like try Twitter to see like a more like Japan exclusive side of this of like our community here.
So I'm curious, before you came to Japan, was your sexual orientation like a key factor for choosing if you would live here or not?
No, like Japan was a thing for me, like even before I figured out my sexuality. Like it had always been like part of my life, like was kind of like my lifelong dream. But I'm glad that like Japan is like this, because like the weird thing about Japan is like I would say it's a welcoming country to a gay person. Like it's not like overtly welcoming. Like it's not like you have like, oh, we love gay. I mean, no countries like, I mean, maybe Spain, but but compared to like many other places, especially Italy, like Japan is extremely safe. And like I cannot stress this enough, how important it is to be in a safe country for a minority, because like in like even though like Italy is, there's like more people who are open, there's like more fanfare, there's like more celebration like from the gay community, like the gay community is like more active. There are still areas where like people die, or like people get attacked, and that doesn't happen in Japan. Like of course they're like we cannot like generalize, because like there is like the death of conversation, but it's like it's definitely like a safer place than most countries.
So, okay, you're in Japan, man. Let's start getting to the interesting stuff, man. You feel me? So, you have had a Japanese boyfriend. Are you currently dating right now?
Let's start with the exes.
Okay.
So I had two relationships in the past since I've been here, with like two Japanese men that I can consider, like serious relationships.
All right. So because I'm sure there's foreigners who will come to Japan and they're definitely looking to date a Japanese man or woman, right? What was your experience as far as like how did you guys meet, and then like what was like the first date like? Like where did you guys go? What is something that you usually do?
Okay, all right. So I would say there's like there's usually like, one thing I'm not trying to generalize, but there's usually like two kind of guys that tend to gravitate towards me. This is like my personal experience. Once again, I would say like one is the kind of guy who has been abroad and has like this like a more like open mind, kind of like who appreciate like this kind of people, like who are like from abroad. They bring like this new perspective to their lives, and they also like remind them of their time abroad. They usually also speak English, which is like the easy I would say of dating, if you can like if you find someone who speaks English and who's has been outside of Japan for a while. And then there's like the more difficult kind of approach is with someone who doesn't speak English, who is into foreigners, and who would like to go abroad but has never been. And of course, like I mean, if you don't speak Japanese, it's gonna be harder with with someone that doesn't speak English. I would say like don't try it, because like it's just gonna be like a lot, like very frustrating. But maybe learn the language because it's fun, and like I would say like the biggest kind of like barriers to like the language created is the way that like Japanese people tend to talk to each other about certain things that like for a foreigner might be like a little bit hurtful if you take them personally. So like for example, like it's easy for people to say to each other like "Saikin futotteru ne." It's just like, oh, you got fat recently, huh? It's like, and like if you do it like like if I would do it to like an Italian person, like that would hurt them. Like, and people did it to me and it hurt me. But it's not meant in a hurtful way. And you have to learn that. But also like you need to like balance a little bit, you know, like just because it's
So, going on that, I mean, what's interesting because everyone that's in Japan that's not Japanese, you know that Japanese culture is very unique. You know, the different types of etiquette. Is there like, would you say there's differences between the foreign LGBT community and the Japanese LGBT community, even in just like etiquette, like kind of like unspoken things that you've had to like learn, or is it just the same across the board?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's like it's not that divided. There's like I wouldn't say there's like a foreigner and a Japanese community. It's not that divided. It's just that like I would say that like if you tend to like hang out among foreigners, you definitely have like more things to relate to, which is the advantage. But also like you can like risk like bubbling yourself, you know, into like an echo chamber of like, you know, like just talking about the same things and so on. If you tend to like hang out with more Japanese people, you can have like a different perspective of how the culture is here. It's just like if those people don't speak English, it's gonna be like a little bit hard to connect.
So there's no like secret or like etiquettes like or differences in that sense. It's just the same. Just depends on, you know, who you're talking to, what perspectives you'll get.
I mean, not in terms of etiquette. There's definitely like if you're really interested, like lingo and like slangs. Those are pretty fun. So for example, I'm gonna apologize for this because like so like one of the first things that like I've been taught, let's say, was like the difference between a rice queen and a potato queen.
Queen and a potato
queen. Yeah. So the rice queen is someone who like is like a foreigner guy who's into like Asian looking guys, like rice queen. Very sorry, I'm so sorry. And the the potato queen, it would be like the opposite end of the spectrum, also like an Asian looking guy who's into like more European looking guys, like more into foreigners. And yeah, there's that kind of distinction.
Well, don't worry, it's not a kids channel, so you can describe whatever you want. Hey, maybe you're helping someone in the future. You know, they'll know their lingo before they even get here, so that's perfect.
Yeah, and then for like top and bottom, like for top in Japan we say like tachi or seme, and for bottom we say like uke or neko. Yeah. Then another important one is probably gonna be riba, which is like versatile. Riba.
You do whatever works.
Yeah, you can do whatever. If you cannot do neither, you would be vanilla. So like either top or bottom. And yeah, that's about it basically.
Now, looking at like the overall state of the community here, is it trending in the right direction? Is it trending in the wrong direction? What do you think? I know you said it's really safe, but what do you think about, you know, the future of the community here in Japan?
You mean like inside the community or like the community related to the country?
Both. I mean, both would be great to talk about because a lot of people have the perception. I mean, it's true that Japan is a very conservative country. So yeah, I mean, what do you think in the community? You said it's a safe space, but also in relation to just the country as a whole.
So I feel like Japan is evolving really quickly in this couple of years that I've been here. Like I've seen like a lot of changes, and so like in that sense, I think it's going towards the right direction. It's gonna take time. And the problem is like here, like there has never been like a strong revolution. I feel, like there's like like you don't have like a Stonewall event in Japan, like nothing that was like so strong and like so resonating towards like across all the country. It's a slow burning process, also because there's like less aggressive oppression than maybe there was in the States back in the day. I'm not sure, like, because also like this is my perspective as a foreigner in the country.
So, well, I have different types of questions, man. I'm curious. Like, you said you had two Japanese boyfriends. Did they get to the point where you got to meet their parents, or was that on the table?
It almost got, like, I mean, it was a conversation that I had with my second ex, but we broke up like before that could happen. But also like, yeah.
Well, just piggybacking on that question, because now you've had boyfriends in the country. Would you say that, like, so for those people, are they very open with their family? Is their family accepting?
That's a very good question. There's only, like, I would say like the ratio of people who are open with the family is like 80% are not open, 20% are open, and yeah, it's a very touchy like conversation for them to have. But I understand that, like, I don't think that, like, if you ever, like, this is in general, like, if you don't feel like it's not something that you can safely discuss with your family, you shouldn't do it, in my opinion. It's like, don't try, like, wait until you're safe, wait until you're, like, like, independent, and maybe, like, have this conversation. And I think, like, that's what a lot of people do. And then, like, they just tend to, like, not ever open up that Pandora box. Because also, like, they like, I feel like a lot of people have like a more distant relationship with their family once they move out. This is what I've seen. So like, they don't feel the need to like say like, Mom, I need to be myself and I want to tell you this. Like, some people do, most people don't.
So I'm, like I said, I'm just curious. And I want to get to the interesting stuff, man. Right?
It's all been interesting.
Like, so you go out, right? You go out, you meet this guy that you like. You feel me? And it's like, yo, I wanna take this further. And what I've heard and like what I've seen, like, because Japan's famous for their love hotels, right? But I heard that same sex can't go in. Like, I heard that two women, they are sometimes allowed in, but two men aren't. So in that situation, like, where do you go, or like what happens in that type of situation?
So if one of the two, or in some cases more than two, like how like they live alone, you would usually go to the other person's house, which personally I don't recommend doing it, because like I did it, and then like I used to do it fairly often, and then like I stumbled upon like someone that got like a little bit more obsessive with me, and I was like, oh no, like now they know where I live, which is like a horrible feeling to have. Like, just in general, like I would say, like,
so
one night stand.
If
like,
you can't go to someone's personal house, are there any other options, or can you go? Have you had experiences at love hotels?
Like, me, not personally, but what I know about love hotels is like usually you can book in completely anonymously. So it's a good place to go if you're like super discreet. Like, you don't even want stranger to know about what you do. Most love hotels are anonymous. Like, you will never interact with anyone. So yeah, they're okay. They would you because even if you're straight, like they were there's like that's the whole point. Like nobody is asking.
All right, so we'll help our viewers out here. Let's say one of our viewers, they're in the community, they're coming to Osaka. Stef, what's your go-to gay bar?
So like right now, it's kind of complicated, like everywhere in the gay street, because like they're all like struggling with regulations. There's one that's called like Frenzy, yeah. It's in Indoyama, and it's one of the most famous like gay bars because it's like it's open to both like Japanese and foreigners. That's the thing. There are some places who are not open to foreigners. That's a reality. It's not just the gay bars. There's also like some izakayas. They have been decreasing, luckily, but there might be still like these sort of places in Japan. Like that's a reality.
So,
Frenzy, and then like near Frenzy, you can see like the village, just called the village, and then you have Grand Slam and Explosion. Those are like four of the most popular. So yeah, like I would say like start with Frenzy because you can see like a lot of foreigners there and a lot of Japanese people that want to practice their English and stuff. And the owner is a little bit creepy, but I mean not creepy, like not creepy. He's inappropriate and he shouldn't be, but he created like a really safe space for us. And I wish he would be better. Maybe call him out if he says like something that like you're not comfortable with. Don't just accept it because he's older than you. Like just
so good space, but maybe inappropriate owner.
Yeah.
So okay, so I guess one of our final questions: if you could give any advice to someone who is out in the open, who's still as more on the discreet side, or who's in the community and they're coming to Japan, what advice would you give them?
Don't take things too personally, but also like set your boundaries with what you can accept, because like this is their culture, but you also have your own culture. Like don't forget like the place where you come from. Like have an open mind, but don't just give your all to Japan, and don't have too many expectations. I feel like a lot of people have like the kind of Orientalism view where like like you come to Japan and like you have like your
the rice queen.
Yeah, like you're gonna have like your rice, your like potato queen harem.
Oh, wow.
Like, cause you're the rice queen, right? But like, it's not gonna happen usually.
So no expectations.
Yeah.
Understand the culture, but make some boundaries.
Yeah.
Perfect. We appreciate it. Got anything else, Nate?
No, man. I'm just want to thank you, Steph, for jumping on and doing this interview, because I know it takes a lot of courage. Like people don't live out here in Japan. Being yourself in general in Japan is already hard enough, and being a foreigner, and you're a foreigner, and then also your sexual orientation now is playing a factor. I just want to thank you for sharing yourself and your experiences. And yeah, man, are straight people allowed to go to Frenzy, man? We need to go ahead and party over there.
I would say go with a gay person. Yeah, go with a gay person, and be respectful, like in a way, because like it's a club. It's not church, right? Like but also like like it's our space, and we are welcoming, but like also like like just be mindful of the kind of things that it represents, because it represents a lot to us. It's very important.
Perfect. Well, thank you a ton, Steph. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having
guys. Come back, subscribe if you like this video, share with your friends. Happy Pride Month, and we will catch you guys in our next video.
Peace.